Hello everyone, again this is Batamalaki Joshel from class code 2-0157 Electro 3 by Louis Huera. So we will perform our second activity under the magnetic contactor circuit. We are here in our electrical wiring simulator or EWS. So last time we discussed about the magnetic contactor activity number 1, and now we will tackle about the normally open contact, which is the activity number 2. So it is just similar from the last activity that we did last time. So this is L1, L2, L3, or the supply or the circuit. And this is the circuit breaker, which is the RS1, RST. So here we have the fuse 1 and fuse 2. We will just use the fuse 1 and fuse 2. So this is the fuse 1, the line 1 here, and this is the line 2 here, and this is the line 3. So we'll just use the fuse 1 and fuse 2 only. So, and we have here the push button 2, normally open push button, which is connected in series in of coil in this KM1. This KM1. So this one here is the KM1, A1 and A2 is the coil, like our previous discussion last time. So this is the magnetic contactor, which is this one is the magnetic contactor, which is the very important electrical component, especially when we will be doing a motor control circuit later on. So we also have here the next line, this KM1 labeled as 13 and 14. These are we discussed it also from the last discussion, that this 13, this is the normally open contact, and this is the 14, the normally open contact. We have here at the PL3, X1 and X2. This is the input and output of the PL3, the above color green. So so first we will do the labeling, which is very important when reading this electrical diagram. So take note that we have KM1 and KM1 here. They have different symbols, but they have the same name. The KM1 here is the coil, and here the A1 and the A2, and the KM1 here is the normally open contact. So of our magnetic contactor, it means that they have the same label, KM1 and KM1, but it refers to a certain single magnetic contactor. So let's discuss what's the functionality of our electrical diagram before we discuss that if this coil here is energized, if there is a current flowing through the KM1. So if there is a current flowing in this coil, the KM1, A1 and A2, all the normally open will close, and all the normally closed will open. So in this case, in KM1 and in KM1, 13, and 14, we have normally contact. So it means that when we start our circuit breaker, the current now is available to this circuit breaker. The current now is available to this circuit. As of this moment, the current will not be able to this coil, because this is normally open switch here in the PB2. So the current will not be able to flow. This KM1, normally open, will remain open, and this PL3 is still off. However, if we press this PB2, the current now will be able to flow through this KM1 here, making this KM1 in energized state. If we will hear the sound tick tock, after we hear that sound, this KM1, 13, and 14, which is the normally open contact, will now close. So if this normally open contact will now close, the current will now be able to flow through this line here, in this second line here, and this PL3 will now turn on. So to make it short, click this one, this PB2, press this one, and the KM1 or the A1 and A2 will energize, and the KM1 13 and 14 will be closed because there is already a current flowing, and the PL3 will on. However, if we will release the button here in the PB2, there will be no current flowing again. So there will be no current flowing. So the KM1 and KM2 will close. Will be open again, and then the PL3 will turn off. But if we will press it, it will do the same, which is it will be having a flow current, and then this will be closed, and then the PL3 will be turned on. So now we will try to wire it and simulate the functionality later. So from our circuit breaker S, go to our line 2 to the fuse, and from the fuse we will go to our input number 3, which is the A1. So hard. And then from our A1 to our A2, so the PB2 output labeled as 4, go to our A1 coil, the magnetic contactor, and then from our A1, after our A1, we will connect our E2, the coil, to our fuse 1. We'll connect it, fuse 1. So from fuse 1 back to our line 1 to the R. To R. to our R. And then after that, we will proceed to our another line here, which is the KM1 labeled as 13 and 14. So our 13, normally open contact is here. We need to connect to the fuse 2, but it is more easier if you will just connect it to the input of the PB2 input. We are in the number 3, so this is the button. We'll connect our connect it to our input, and then our KM114, normally open contact 14, this button is, we will connect it to our PL3 input for the X1. So 14, we connect it to our input. And then our X2 is the output of the PL3. We will connect it to the fuse 1. However, again, it is more convenient and it's more easier if you will just connect it to our A2, because the A2 is connected to fuse 1. So we'll just connect it to A2. So from output, wait, it is connected fuse 2. So now it seems like our diagram is correct. The 8th wire is correct. We'll try to submit it now. So it is passed. So it is right. And we can turn on the PB2. You can hear the tick-tock. And it will color the green. Just like that. So that would be all. Thank you and see you to the next activity.